Merry Christmas to all you guys. Happy New Year, happy holidays. Today we're talking about what you can do if you are a community college student and you're transferring to the university, or if you are just new to the university, you're coming from high school to the university, or if you're in your lower division, now you're moving that transition to your upper division. What can you do as a student to prepare to smoothly transition from one level of education to another level and make sure that you can have a solid GPA? So I'm going to be answering one of your questions. Harpreet, what is up? Let's get at it, guys. But stop making excuses, stop whining, stop, right? Get at it. No excuses, just dominate. All right, guys. Good morning, Leslie, Harpreet, Angela, Degenerate. That's an interesting handle there. Junior, what is up? Utham, Nina, good morning. Hope everyone had wonderful, wonderful Christmas times. Ate lots of good food. I myself was at the hospital both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. If I look tired, it's because I am. A couple days no sleep. I've gotten soft since residency. When I miss just one night of sleep, I am walking wounded. Oh my gosh, Dawn, it's been forever. I'm so glad you made a live video. What is up? 23 knows all. What is up? This is live. I like how people ask, is it live? Yes, it's live. You look at my face right now. I see you. All right, so today we're talking about a question that got submitted to me by Kelly. And I think this is important for everyone to address. That's why I sent it out to my mailing list, as 23 knows all said earlier, yes. But I think it's important to address it for you guys who are not on my mailing list yet. If you are not, I don't know why you're not. You need to sign up right now. There's going to be a link in the box after this. I just put together a new training on how to overcome test anxiety. So that'll be in the box below. You can click that and get in that free training and sit with me for an hour, hour and a half, and listen to me talk about tangible strategies for overcoming test anxiety. So check that out. Joshua, what up? So the question is from Kelly. She says, hello, Dr. Pinesett. I don't know if you'll read my email. I did, but I don't lose much by trying. Of course you don't, guys. You never lose by trying. I recently came across your channel, and it has given me some hope back. I'm happy for that. I've dreamt my whole life to become a doctor, and that dream seems to be running away from me. I managed to get a 3.7 GPA for my associate's degree. I took a break, had a baby, and this was my first semester towards my bachelor's, and my GPA dropped to 2.8. I took 6 classes. Is it possible for me to recuperate from that? I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get to medical school. Please let me know if you have a one-on-one program or something similar. It would change my life. All right, so the very first thing, right, this is kind of a hybrid studying and pre-med question, is that so many of you guys, I think we see these big transitions in life, right? We see it's obvious, like I'm going from community college, university, or I'm going from here to there. We see these big transitions, but we don't recognize the small transitions in our lives. And what happens, and one of the big takeaways from this video today, is that if you want to be a successful student who has a quality GPA, who has a quality resume that is going to appeal to medical schools, to graduate schools, to jobs, wherever you're trying to go, then we must be very, very aware and proactive of what's coming in our lives. I'm an anesthesiologist, and I've been teaching the residents now as an attending, and I'm loving it. And one of the big things I'm always stressing with them is that we as anesthesiologists, the reason I love anesthesia is kind of a preparation person. I love planning, I love being prepared, I love being over-prepared. And as an anesthesiologist, that's like your number one thing, is to foresee what could go wrong and cut it off at the pass before it ever happens. Does that make sense? Like, it's our job to say, this could go wrong, this could go wrong, this could go wrong, and be ready for that and have a plan to actually enact that prevents that from happening. This patient might get hypotensive because they've lost a lot of blood. Okay, I need to start transfusing blood ahead of time. Before I give them anesthetics, they're going to lower their blood pressure even more. I need to do this to get them prepared for that. That's anesthesia. And I've been stressing this with the residents, but for you guys, it also plays in your general life. I want you guys to pre-med, and I want you guys to college like you're an anesthesiologist. I want you to look at what roadblocks, what obstacles, what challenges are in front of you and adjust accordingly to proactively prepare for them, as opposed to having to be in damage control mode, which is where a lot of you guys live your lives, right? You guys are always like, oh, I messed this up, now I gotta do this. I messed this up, now I gotta do this. Oh, my GPA is bad, now I gotta fix it. Well, what if you change your perspective and you were looking at what could go wrong ahead of time, getting prepared for it, and then you wouldn't have to work uphill. You're working downhill because you established that strong base. So, I encourage all of you guys to recognize Just because you're doing well now in school and you're cruising and you're getting the A's and it feels good, it doesn't mean it's always going to stay like that. It does not mean that. And there's a great book called Antifragile, and it's by Nassim, I think the last name's Talib. I could be wrong. I'll put the book link in the description after this. This is live. It just came to me right here. But he's a mathematician, and essentially he looks at statistics and things and the way they've happened through history mathematically as ways to predict the future. Essentially trying to be a future forecaster. And one of the things he also writes about is for us in being able to develop some sense of future prediction of our own, being fortune tellers of our own. And he gives this great analogy about the Thanksgiving turkey. Have you guys heard me talk about this yet? Who's ever heard me talk about the Thanksgiving turkey? It's fitting because it's holiday time right now. Tahara says, how can I improve? I'm graduating undergrad this summer. We'll talk about that in this video. But no, okay, good. This is new to people. I love it. I tell so many stories, I never remember which stories I tell. So the Thanksgiving turkey, Nassim Talib, this is not me, but it's a great analogy. It really opened up my eyes to a lot of things. And the book is called Antifragile. And essentially, it goes like this. There's a turkey. That turkey is getting all the good nutrients every day. The farmer comes, feeds that turkey, and that turkey is getting their pick of whatever they want to eat. And they're getting fatter and fatter every single day. Big old fat turkey butt, right? That's what they're getting. And they're thinking, man, this is amazing. They bring me all this food. I'm feeling good. I'm protected. Nobody can touch me. They cleaning me up every day. This is amazing. My life is so sweet. So sweet. Month after month, turkey getting fatter. And the turkey starts getting cocky, right? Turkey's walking around like, yeah, man, I'm the big dog turkey around here. None of y'all get fed like I get fed. My life's amazing. I'm only going to get fatter. My life's only going to get better. Oh my gosh. And the turkey gets so comfortable and it's beautiful. Then October comes. All of a sudden, Farmer Bob comes out there and it's not a plate of food he has. It's an axe. And he chops the turkey's head off. And the point is this, is that turkey got comfortable thinking that last month's abundance would always last for forever and it would lead into next month's abundance. They did not account for our wonderful proclivity for Thanksgiving turkeys. And for you guys, right, you may have missed this, but this is how it applies, is that many of you guys have had success. Man, I dominated high school. Oh man, I dominated community college. Oh man, I dominated freshman year. I dominated college. I'm gonna do great in medical school, right? We think about it that way. We look at our past and we see what has worked for us. We've seen what has allowed us to get by, and we, like the turkey, think, oh, there are only sunny days ahead. There will be no rain on this parade. I will go through and I will get fatter and better and straight A's for forever. I don't need to work on my stuff. I don't need to get better because what I'm doing is working. And the problem is then you then get to Thanksgiving turkey season. And for many of you guys, right, it's these big transitions from community college, right, from high school, where you were valedictorian, right? And now all of a sudden you're into a school like Harvard, and everybody there's valedictorian. And so now it's time you get your head chopped off because you don't have the study skills, right? Junior just got a 4.0. Congratulations, Junior. One of my 5 pillars people, so it's good timing, yeah. So I think that's a good point. Verducci said, a lot of community colleges do spoon feeding, right? As someone who's done both a 2 and a 4-year school. And that's accurate. That's what, same thing with high school. How many times in high school did you guys get that study guide? Did the teacher literally walk you through and say, this will be on the test? And community college is much the same. Then you get to university and everyone like has a feeling where they want to buck at that university. Or they want to buck at that medical school and say, you know what? They don't care about my learning. They're not helping me. The teacher doesn't care about me. And it's not that the teacher doesn't care about you, it's that the teacher's not spoon feeding you like you're used to, so it's more difficult. And what happens is you don't have the study skills to step up and survive the Thanksgiving massacre. You guys have to be thinking that way and being proactive about your grades. It's not okay if you just got by the skin on your teeth, like you were just cramming, and somehow you got the A. You don't know how, but you got it. That's not sufficient and that won't carry you. If you are time limited in community college, meaning you are struggling, right? Like you, oh man, whew, oh gosh, I have so much to do at community college. It's going to be a step up at the university. And it's perfectly doable, but we have to have that anticipation of what's going to happen. And so to this student, right, to get to her question, after all that turkey talk, does everybody get the turkey analogy there? Let me know right now if you get the turkey analogy, if you understand what I'm saying, if that hits somewhere with you. If you feel like, man, I am a fat turkey right now, but I feel like there's been points where I've got my head chopped off and I've had to come back from that as opposed to being proactive about it. For this student, and for any of you guys who are changing academic levels, the very first thing I want to say, and this student actually has some other things going on, but is that when you guys transition to anything, even a new class, so you go from freshman year and you have a certain level of classes, you have a bunch of breadth requirements mixed in, and all of a sudden you get to sophomore, junior year, and you got a heavy science load, we've got to start thinking that it's coming up. So as we get there and we start transitioning to a new environment, a new challenge, right? It's like a relationship. You don't just rush into a relationship, give up your social security number the first date, right? You dip your toe in the water. You see how comfortable you are before you jump, head over heels in love. I just watched Dirty John. I don't know if you guys saw this. This ridiculous movie. Shannon made me watch it about this old lady who wanted this other guy, and this guy was pretending to be an anesthesiologist, funny enough, and she gets duped. But the whole point of this is that for you guys, as you start getting to these levels, if you get into a new environment you're not familiar with, it's important that we take our time. So as you guys are transitioning to wherever you may be transitioning, we have to understand that it may be more difficult than we're accustomed to. It may be more challenging, it may be different, we may not be equipped. So we should ease in. So anytime you guys transition, assume the worst. So if you're used to taking 4 classes at the community college, and then you go to the university level, should you be taking 4 classes your first semester? No. This student took 6 classes their first university semester. Does that seem like a recipe for success? For anyone, for you guys right now who are already at university, does 6 classes sound like a pathway to straight A's? Doesn't sound like it. You may get the A's, but it doesn't sound like a fun way to get A's. So the first thing I'll recommend to you guys is that you reduce your workload and be, kind of pessimistic, be conservative in what you think you're going to be able to do until you acclimate. And the reason this is important for a couple reasons. One, because it's going to protect your GPA, right? Because it's easier to get A's in 4 classes or 2 classes than it is in 6 classes. So you'll protect your GPA. Moreover, by having a lower class load, you'll be able to work on your study skills, work on your study strategies in that extra time you would have spent on other classes. This will fortify you and strengthen your ability to get better grades and to get better grades more efficiently the following terms. So it's like investing to get that investment back. So instead of using that time to struggle in other classes, let's use that time to improve our studying, to improve what we're able to do for the future. So we're going to offload some of that class load to work on ourselves. The second thing is, that it's going to do, or the third thing I should say, first thing, you're going to protect your GPA. Second thing is going to give you time to work on your study skills. And if you're someone right now who knows you need to work on your study skills, which is most of you guys, you should enroll in my 5 Pillars of Study Lesson Get Better Grades course, guys. It's a life-changing course to make you independent, to make you confident. Check that out, okay? StudentTransformation.com is the website if you guys don't know. So you want to improve your study skills. The third thing the reason that we take a lighter load is because if instead of taking 6 classes and dropping our GPA, I think she said she dropped hers to 2 point something, to 2.8. So 6 classes, 2.8 GPA. Instead of plummeting your GPA, when you take 2 classes, you'll be able to get the A's, and what that does is build your confidence. How many of you guys struggle with your confidence? How many of you guys are anxious about how your classes are going to turn out? And then when you think about, where that anxiety and where that self-doubt and where that negativity comes from, it comes from your past poor performance. Am I right? Does everyone understand? And this is a comment. I'm gonna break my lecture here for a second and yell at Ovik right now. Ovik says, my GPA is unsalvageable. I need to have Jesus to revive my college career. Biomedical engineer was a mistake, LOL. And that may seem like a funny comment that you guys would see in a forum. I don't tolerate it here because it's a bad comment on all fronts. The first is that no GPA is unsalvageable. No GPA is unsalvageable. But are you willing to work to improve that GPA, Ovic or Ovich? It's up to you. So to say that a GPA is unsalvageable, for anyone to say that, that's ridiculous. And I think it's a negative comment that spreads negativity for no reason. So I don't tolerate that. So don't say that, first of all. The second thing says, I need to have Jesus to revive my college career. No, you need to have you to revive your college career. Too many of you guys want to blame Jesus, want to blame your parents, want to blame the school, want to blame your professors. How about you blame yourself, Ovich, for you not doing what you need to do to get the grades? And it starts with not knowing how to study. It starts with not managing your time effectively and procrastinating too much. You go on to say biomedical engineering was a mistake. No, the mistake was not having the skills and the discipline to succeed as a biomedical engineer. Because I have multiple students who are in engineering, bioinformatics, computer science, who get the job done. The separator is, hey, are you willing to work hard enough and be in that circle and do what's required to get those grades? The second thing is then, do you have the skills to actually work it? Like, come on. So again, I had to break for a second here because sometimes this is the kind of garbage that you get on forums, which is why I can't stand forums, because you got a bunch of people who want to throw this kind of stuff out. And then everyone's have a pity party. Oh my gosh, Ovich, I feel so terrible for you. You are right. Biomedical engineering is all to blame. Oh my gosh, I hope someone helps you. I'm going to accept responsibility for what you've done. Does everybody understand what I'm saying right now? Does everybody understand what I'm saying right now? And this is a ridiculous comment too. And you've been here too long, chewing through your nose at all. I forget what your real name is. That's a bad comment. That's a bad comment. It's not too hard for someone who wants to be a doctor. And actually, I had multiple, when I was at Stanford, classmates who had engineering degrees. And it was lucrative for them. And actually, it's so funny. I literally was just talking to someone, was it maybe 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. Who is a physician, but is trained in engineering and is now doing device development and has 2 patents pending in device development. Because they have that engineering background. So to say, I just want to go to medical school, what does that mean? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? This is not the place to come get a pity party. And here, like Leslie just said, yes, computer science is tough, but the 5 pillars helps with any major. So we can't be doing this kind of stuff. I won't tolerate it. So I'm going to get back into nice mode now, all right? We can be nice again. So, okay, we have to be aware of the roadblocks coming, and we take our time because we're going to build our confidence so that way we're not anxious, so that way we're not, right? We're not down on ourselves. We're going to be up on ourselves. We're going to start that momentum rolling so we can be excited for the next semester. Some of you guys, right, it's winter break right now. You had a terrible fall semester, and so you are already dreading spring semester. Don't put yourself in that position. Okay? The second thing is that we have to be aware and proactive to protect our GPA. Our GPA is a reflection of our study availability. What do I mean by that? Study availability means that you have to actually put study time in. And I know a lot of people are out here telling you that you don't have to put study time in. Even myself, I teach people study less, get better grades. So I want to teach you guys how to study as little as possible and get the grades, but it starts with you actually putting in enough time. And if you're not putting enough study time in, you'll never get the grades. This is why so many of you guys, when you can't stick to your study schedule, when you procrastinate, you can't get the grades no matter how hard you try because you're not able to put in sufficient time because you procrastinate so much. The reason so many of you guys procrastinate or you get off schedule or you don't study as much as you should is because you guys don't have your life in order. You guys don't know how to handle everything that life is throwing at you. In this case, Kelly, right, is coming back to university after having a baby. Do you guys think it's easier or harder to get A's when you have a baby? Easier or harder? Right? And Tahara, I guess, is Kelly part 2 right here, that she's mentioning. Right? 3.4 associate's degree, which is good. And then now 2.3 entering senior year looking for advice to improve, right? So had some success and then went wrong when it got too difficult. She continues, I was that student doing well in my first 2 years and did not prepare for harder classes and took too many of the hard classes. So Kelly's not alone, right? We can say that. When you have a child, as someone who has two, life is harder. You don't have the same time that you had before you had children. And even the time you do spend gets interrupted. You guys are really, we're live. My kids are yelling in the background right now. Kids don't have any regard or respect for your schedule. We're using, and we're talking about kids here because this is her situation. But for many of you guys, you have other obligations. You have other things that school is throwing out for you. Does everybody hear what I'm saying? Many of you guys have a parent, a sibling, a friend, somebody in your life who needs you. You have to have a job. You have to, all these obligations in your life. If you haven't taken the time to form your priorities and organize your life, life will get in the way. And when that life gets in the way, and when life feels overwhelming, what do? Right? When you feel overwhelmed, what do? We retreat. We pull away. We don't engage, we don't dive in, we pull away. And when we pull away, what are we pulling away from? What are we pulling away from, guys? Opportunity. Pulling away from the work that's required for future success. We're pulling away from all the positive things, and we fill ourselves with distraction. We fill ourselves with filler. We fill ourselves with entertainment over education. Do you guys understand what I'm saying right now? Do you hear these words? You have to get your life in order. Whether it's the major you choose, whether it's the responsibilities you have, whether it's the job you have, whatever it is, if you don't take that into account when you're deciding what classes to take and how you're going to go about it, and that's not in order, it's not going to give you enough time to actually sit down and study. Because you got maybe 8 hours a day working, 8 hours, whatever you're doing, we've got to make sure we got enough time to actually sit down and study. The extension of that, right? We talked about your GPAs, your study availability, is that your GPA reflects your studying ability. And it was funny because I made a post on Instagram talking about the ridiculousness of study with me videos and how they're a big waste of time. And as always happens, and I love it, right? Social media, everybody has an opinion. A student replied back and said, well, I like study with me videos. Having that on in the background makes me feel good because I can hear them studying and talking, and it gives me something to distract me from how hard my studying is. Listen to the words. I like having a study with me video on in the background because it makes me feel like I'm not alone. It gives me something to look at, something to listen to, something to distract me from how hard studying is. What did they just say to you guys? What do they, like when I'm reading this, what do you think I'm thinking? I'm going to wait because this is a very important point. When I read that, as a studying and learning expert, what do you think I think? I'm going to wait till you guys light this box up. You guys think I'm playing? There's a couple things. First, they don't know what they're talking about. The second thing, they go into studying hating studying. How can you ever be engaged? How can you ever do well in something you hate? You can't. And when you hate something, right, and this feeds into it, when you hate something, you will look actively for other things to distract you and pull you out of it. And the problem with so many of you guys and your studying is that you are distracted as a studier. And what's even worse is that because you guys are seeking comfort right, and safe haven from the harsh world of studying, you guys are actively looking for distractions that are going to pull you out of effective studying. Hear me. If you put on a study with me video and you think that's helping your study focus, you're dead wrong. Yes, it may make you feel better because you're not alone, but you're introducing on purpose a distractor into your studying. How long, my students, does it take to recover from a distraction? When we study, we want 110% focus. We want to be in the zone. Distractions pull us out of the zone, make our brain shift from the material to that distraction, and then we have to come back. So how long does it take us to break focus and to get back focused in the material? Light the box up, my students. You know what it is. How long is that? And Christian said it, you have to change your attitude towards studying. 20 minutes, Harpreet says. 20 minutes. 20 minutes is absolutely correct. 20 plus minutes. Because Steve has the exact figure. 23 minutes, 15 seconds. You guys can hear my daughter, see? Kids don't respect. 23 minutes, 15 seconds. So if you are actively distracting yourself because it feels good with a study video, you are actively sabotaging your studying and lowering your study efficiency. How can you expect to beat me, the efficient studier? How can you expect to beat my students, the efficient studiers, if you're actively distracting yourself? Think about that. Think about how stupid and ridiculous that comment is. I like having the video because it motivates me and distracts me and pulls me away from the studying. That is an idiotic comment. That may sound rude, but I have to be that blunt with you guys because this is what happens. You guys sacrifice. You guys say, I don't want to be uncomfortable, so I'm going to sacrifice my efficiency. I don't want to be uncomfortable, so I'm going to sacrifice my productivity. And when that happens, you then get a bad grade, and then you want to say it's my biomedical engineering degree. You know what? It was I took too many classes. You know what? It was that hard professor. It was the lecture. You want all those excuses, but you actively distracted yourself. It's ridiculous. We have to be aware. So many of you guys think you know how to study. So many of you guys study in ways that make you feel good, but actually are working against you. Hear me and hear me now. Many of you guys study in ways that feel good, that you think are ways to help you because you watched a 5-minute. We've gone 28 minutes today on this video. You watch a 5-minute YouTube video, you watch a 45-second Instagram study tip video, and you think you're going to do better than my students who get 20 plus hours of study time with me. My students who meet with me every Monday, by the way, we're meeting next Monday, guys, to talk studying. You think you're going to outdo my students? It can't happen. It cannot happen because we are so much deeper into it than you are. We are so much more skilled at studying than you are. You can't hang with us. You can't. It's just the reality. So if you guys want to be great students, you want to have a great GPA, you've got to improve your study availability by getting your life in order. And the second thing is then once you're able to actually sit down and study, you must be an effective studier. Mike, what up? You must be an effective studier. And to be an effective studier, you've got to learn how to study and study for real. Brain hacks, tips and tricks aren't going to cut it because you have people out there, my students, who actually are in it and know the ins and outs and everything they should be doing to be an independent, confident student. You must learn that stuff, guys. It's super important. It's super important. Look in the box below. I'm going to put after this video a link. I have a new training, How to Overcome Test Anxiety. It's a great training to learn. It's an hour and a half with me talking about what test anxiety is and how to beat it. So look in the box for that afterward. The last thing I want to say for this student, right? So they need to recognize they're transitioning, be proactive about their approaching, reduce their course load. They need to get their life in order, get help, get support with their child so they can focus in. Then they also have to make sure that they get their entire life in order, they're available. Then they have to learn how to actually study and be effective. Like, we've got to do that. Right? We've got to do that. We've got to get there. Then, once we do that, the last thing I want to say to you guys, and this kind of goes back to, right, Ovich. Is it Ovich or Ovic? I'll say Ovich. I think it's a C with a CH. Ovich. Is that you guys have to decide. And in her post, she said, my dream, let me read exactly what she said. I've dreamt my whole life to become a doctor, and that dream seems to be running away from me. Fast forward. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get to medical school. Please let me know if you have a one-on-one program or something similar. It would change my life. Do you guys know how many emails I get from people who say, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be great? I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I got to get there. This is my dream. This is everything I've ever thought about. It means everything to me. I'll do whatever it takes. Then I tell them what it takes, and they say, no, I'm not willing to do that. Right? So Ovich, who has a GPA that only Jesus can save, I say, you can save your GPA. You got to learn how to study, and then you got to take the time to get your GPA up. Because I've had students come back from what they were told was unsalvageable, and we get the job done. It may take a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort, but you can get there. But you have to decide, are these empty words? Because a lot of people throw that out there. How many times, do you guys ever get annoyed? I get emails every day, I get messages every single day. Do you guys ever get annoyed during your day when someone comes to you and like, yeah, man, oh man, I would do anything to have that. I would do anything to have that life, man. That's my dream, man. I want that. I'll do whatever it takes, man. They talk all this trash, and then you look at them like they're crazy and sideways because like, man, you're the laziest cat I know. You say you'll do anything. You're the laziest. You're here copying my notes right now because you refuse to go to class because you're lazy. Am I the only one? You guys must see this on a day-to-day basis. Right? Where everybody says their dream, my dream. Well, what are you doing, the poet rapper? Exactly. What are you doing to make your dream a reality? And the question I always pose to people, write this down. What are you willing to give to get great? What are you willing to give to get great? Don't let people lull you to sleep and tell you that greatness just happens. Greatness don't happen. Opportunity don't happen. Ooh, an opportunity knocks. I'm going to be ready. No. I enter opportunity's house, B&E, breaking and entering, and I yank opportunity from their bed while they're sleeping and consume them. What are you willing to give to get great? And I like this. Kesey. Truth is, they are more concerned about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West than something truly worthwhile. They'll spend hours on gossip, right? Hours on people.com following. What is Kim doing? What is Kanye doing? What's Northwest by Southwest doing? What are you willing to give to get great? Instead of watching other people live your dream, how about you start actively working towards living that dream? This is the other comment, right, on that video. If you guys really want something, recognize that all these big dreams, getting to medical school, being successful, whatever, big dreams, big aspirations require big preparation. If you want to be great, and greatness, right, high achievement, success, right, Stanford Medical School, that takes greatness. And a lot of people have a problem when I say this. I am the greatest, y'all. I am so great that it hurts people to hear me say it because they are mad that they're not as great as me. When I say I dominate all day, every day, people are like, you dominate all day, every day? Oh my gosh, that sounds terrible. Does it? Or do you wish you could dominate all day, every day, which is why you hate when I say it? To be the man I am, to be this greatness, takes work. It takes you giving something to get great. And I'll bring it home with this. One of my students, Alex, posted on my Instagram the other day. So Alex is in the situation. She was a community college student. She struggled at the community college. Did not get the grades. Was horribly underperforming. Was very upset because she was the pillar of her family. Everyone was looking to her, right? She's the smart one who's going to lift them up. And she was struggling at the community college. She messaged me and said, listen, Dr. Pinesett, I am broke. I can't afford your course. I said, no, you can't afford not to have my course. I set up on a payment plan and gave her a nice discount and said, if you want it, come get it. You want greatness, come and get it. She got into my 5 Pillars course. She just transferred to a 4-year this fall. I'll read what she said. Yes, I just finished my first semester at a university as a transfer student, and I'm happy to say I've received straight A's. Thanks to you, Dr. Pinesett. What are you willing to give to get great? And I've corresponded with Alex in my course, right? We've messaged back and forth a couple times, and she's told me about her struggle. She's told me about all the effort she's put in to be able to learn my 5 pillars, to be able to be a better student. She broke up with the old destructive boyfriend, got a new boyfriend who supports her. She pulled the negative people out of her life, put positive people in. She allocates her time differently. Her focus is different. She knows how to study now, and she's been grinding it out, and she's got the A's. She was willing to give to get great. And for so many of you guys, you are all talk. I love this, Angela. Angela's new to me. I've never seen that name. Thank you, Angela. Losers focus on winners. Winners focus on winning. I'm too busy winning to care about what you're doing. I'm too busy. This video is 37 minutes. 90% of the people who find this video will watch 3 minutes of it. Why? Because they aren't willing to give more of their time to get great. They're looking for the 3-minute solution. No. I know that many people aren't going to watch this whole thing. But I'm about winning and helping my students win, which is why half of my TST is on here, right? Like half the people in here right now are my TST who stick with me the whole 38 minutes we're on here. Because they know, man, he might say something at one point in this long video that's exactly what I need to hear today. They know, oh man, my moment, my lesson is coming now. They're not focusing on the losers. They're not focused on other winners. They're focused on winning themselves. And for you guys, I love that, Angela. Losers focus on winners and, oh, wow, look what they're doing. They're studying. Wow, study with me. That's so amazing. Oh, my gosh. Oh, they're a doctor and in a hospital. How cool. Look at their white coat. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Winners are busy getting the white coat. Winners are out here eating your lunch while you're watching empty content. Just telling you. I knew I was getting into Stanford Medical School. I knew it. There was not a single doubt in my mind. I was so confident on interview day, I was kicking my heels up. Why? Because I was willing to do whatever it took, and I was willing to do so much more than what everyone else was doing to get there. And if you are willing to over-prepare and do more than just get by, if you dominate, you will get in. If you dominate, you will get the A. But so many of you guys got terrible work ethic, terrible focus on the wrong things, and you can't get where you want to go. And this happens, as the last thing I'll say to bring it all home, when you transition When you're in a place, a new place, going from high school to college, community college to college, college to medical school, the first thing you do in an unfamiliar surroundings, right? When you guys walk into it's a new bar, a new restaurant, the first thing you walk in, you scout it out, right? When I walk into a new restaurant, I'm looking at everybody's plate. Like, how'd that look? How'd that look? How'd that look? I'm on Yelp. Look at the plates. We look and we compare. And then when we compare, we worry, right? Our worst fear is that we're not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. How can I hang here? Look how smart these people are. That person has glasses. Oh my gosh, they're so smart. I don't have glasses. Oh my gosh, they got a notebook. I don't have a notebook yet. And we focus there as opposed to focusing on what we should be doing. Do you guys understand what I'm saying right now? They focus on the wrong thing. And the net result is what? It's disaster. It's absolute disaster. Do you guys understand what I'm saying right now? You guys have to understand, as you transition, it's our nature to be worried that there's danger, that you're not good enough. You are good enough. You can succeed, but are you willing to outwork first and then get informed and outsmart the other people? And if you are a non-traditional student, you've taken time off, you have a family, you have a full-time job, you have people you're taking care of, I know you see other people who don't have those same responsibilities, who don't have those same obligations and commitments, and they don't have to hustle as hard as you do. But the question becomes, are you so focused on how good they look and how easy they have it that you don't do what is required of you to get the success? Does that make sense? You waste your energy and your positivity and your mindset worrying about what they're doing and the fact that they don't have to work and get home to their kid and do the studying, that you don't do what you have to do to get successful. And you make your prophecy correct and true because you're like, man, they're better than me. They don't have the same obligations, the same obstacles. I can't be them. So then what happens? You aren't them. They beat you. But if you would just take the time to focus on you and what you have to do to win, you can overcome. And time after time, I have a lot of disadvantaged students, learning disabilities, financial disabilities, whatever you want. I don't know if you have financial limitations, whatever your thing is. There is a solution. There is a way, but you've got to recognize it's incumbent. It's you. It's not your major. It's not. Get the job done. Because I have students who have multiple babies, have chronic diseases, have parents who have illnesses, come from backgrounds where their parents worked in the fields, come from backgrounds where none of their parents speak English, yet they get the job done. Because they say, right, no excuses, no obstacles too great, I'm just going to dominate. And for you guys, I know, right? Empty words. When I say no excuses, just dominate, it just goes right over your head. Oh, no excuses, just dominate. I don't remember. I'm telling you, if you can get over yourself and your doubt and start believing that if you just work hard and then you get informed and you work smart, I promise you guys, you will succeed. I promise you. I'm first-hand case. My students are second-hand case. You can succeed, but we've got to start somewhere. And you've got to start, as the theme of this whole video, when you guys transition from any level to another level, we've got to be proactive. And I see too many students who are retroactively, right, after the fact, working to overcome something they did to themselves, digging themselves a hole, as opposed to building a strong foundation and being prepared for what's ahead. Be proactive. Be proactive, guys. That's what I have today. So learn from Kelly, who's sent me this email. Learn from Tahara. And Tahara, it's not too late. I know your GPA feels low. It's not. Right? Ovich, I made fun of you, right? And I picked at you, but I hope I fired you up. This semester needs to be better than last semester. Your future's in front of you. Your future is in front of you. But you've got to get informed, and you've got to start working harder and smarter than everyone else, or you're not going to get there. Does everyone understand? Are we good? Everyone, if you have enjoyed this, like this video right now, let me know. Take this video and share it with someone who needs a message today, who needs a word, who's going through something, who's in a transition, who needs to get better, who's trying to find a way out from a hole they've dug. Help them. Be a caring individual. Okay? And if you guys are ready to transform, to be a better student, to be a better pre-med, get to my website. It's studenttransformation.com. There's help here. There's support here from my students. There's support from me. There's no excuses, guys. You should be dominating. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's run. Right? Come on. Okay? In the box, like I said, I'm going to have I'm going to have some free links for you guys for free trainings, including my new one. Right? How to overcome and beat test anxiety once for all. Get it. Click in there. Learn what your anxiety comes from. Right? And I made this because some of you guys have been emailing me about test anxiety. It's driving me bananas. So I've got that training for you. If you're like, no, I need more than that. I need the whole thing. Then get into my 5 pillars, guys. Let's go. Everyone, have a wonderful day. I hope your Christmas holiday was wonderful. I'm going to go spend some time with my kids right now. And then I'm going to get back on the grind and get some work done later on today. I'll be live tomorrow, which is Friday. Live action, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you guys want to come hang out with me live again, be ready. Okay? We're going to talk about something good tomorrow. Another one of your guys' questions that you submit to me. And we'll get some answers for you guys, some guidance for you guys. Thank you guys very much for joining me. See you guys tomorrow. Today is the day, guys. No more excuses. No more complaining. You're going to take your future in your own hands. You're going to dominate. You're going to be successful. Get to my website, studenttransformation.com. I challenge you. What are you going to do today to make your life better?